of all these killings, ISI has been completely spooked. ISI seems spooked following the killing of Hafiz Saeed 8, Abdul and a senior leader of the Jamiat, ulema-e-islam. This is Mufti Noorzai, who we were just telling you about. Top sources are telling Times Now that Hafiz Saeed seems to have been kept in a secluded cell with elite forces who are guarding the cell. Pradeep Datta, my colleague, joining us live on the broadcast. Pradeep, ISI spooked in the backdrop of all these killings. Looks like Hafiz Saeed's security has been increased in Pakistan.
The reason is obvious. Inter-Service Intelligence Pakistan Spy Agency had been using these clerics as well as terror commanders as their assets to target India and many other countries. But now this safer space for them seemed to be shrinking in Pakistan. That used to be safe haven for them. Yesterday we saw the close aid of Hafiz Saeed and his gunmen were killed and the driver was injured. And people even felt that maybe Hafiz Saeed was also there who was injured, but so far there is no confirmation about that, so we'll not speculating on that. But one thing is clear, that no more this is a safe haven for Pakistan, is safe haven for all these terror organizations and radical elements and these clerics who had been trying to lure youngsters to gun culture and making them train their guns towards India and other countries in West. So this killing is a big embarrassment for inter-service intelligence. Some people feel that Pakistan Army is behind these killings, or some people feel that there can be a possibility of a turf war between several terror organizations. They are responsible for this killing. And Pakistan is known for just use and throw policy, because if somebody is not of their use, so they better try to bump it off. We have seen this thing happening in past also. They might be doing this time also. But one thing is good, that it's good for the world's peace. It's good for the peace in India, because they are the one who had hands soaked in blood. They are the one who are responsible for death, destruction and devastation here in Jammu and Kashmir, because thousands of people have died because of these terror organizations and these radical elements, because they are the one who keep on radicalizing, indoctrinating and brainwashing young minds, luring them to gun culture and making them cross over to Indian side and train their guns on innocent people and get them killed. So that way it's a very good thing so far as the peace and the humanity is concerned. But yes, it's also a matter of concern for Pakistan as inter-service intelligence agency, that who is really killing their assets, because they were the one who were used as assets against India. They were the one who were just used as assets against Western countries. Because since for the last 3 years, more than 50 people have so far been killed by unknown gunmen. Every time there is only one line: unknown gunmen killed so and so person, but there is no investigation. Nobody so far has got arrested. But I think karma somewhere seems to be catching up with Pakistan, because what they had been doing across the border, something similar is happening here. If Pakistan somewhere feels that maybe Indian intelligence agencies are involved, but India has already denied that they are not involved in any kind of killing. Whatever they do, they claim it. They carried out surgical strike. They told the world that they carried out surgical strike. When after Uri attack, India carried out first surgical strike when many of their terror training camps were targeted. When after Pulwama bombing, second surgical strike was carried out by Indian Air Force. That time also India announced that they carried out second surgical strike, and this time Indian Air Force was able to penetrate inside Pakistani territory, 65 kilometers inside Pakistani territory, and was able to decimate and demolish Jaish-e-Mohammed headquarters. So whatever India will be doing, India will always be claiming India is not like Pakistan using their assets to target innocent civilians, because India never believed in that, because India always had been believing in direct confrontation. We saw what India did to Pakistan in 47, 65, 71 and during Kargil war. Throughout we saw that Pakistan was in a denial mode during Kargil war, saying that none of their military men were involved in the operation. They said it was basically the Mujahideen, the indigenous terror organization operating in Kashmir, who were involved in that operation. Finally, Musharraf in his book had written that how Northern Light Infantry of the Pakistan Army and other organizations were involved in that battle, because they claimed it, but initially they abandoned their bodies were lying there for years together, and finally the last ride for days together, finally the last ride.
Absolutely, and you know, Bhavtosh is also live with us on the broadcast. Bhavtosh, if you could give us more details on the same. Priyanka, I believe, is also live with us. Bhavtosh, I'll come to you first. ISI, it looks like they are spooked following the killing of Hafiz Saeed's 8, and now it looks like that he has been shifted to another cell. He's been kept in a secluded cell. Elite forces are guarding Hafiz Saeed. What more details do you have on the same?
Well, this happened exactly 24 hours after Abu Qatil was killed, and he was killed along with his bodyguard. And what information we have gathered is that there was a lot of chatter on social media after his killing. Now, the chatter, in fact, has put the blame, or Abu Qatil has been made a scapegoat. What Lashkar-e-Toiba cadres are being told is that Abu Qatil was a double agent. He was someone, a mole of Indian intelligence agencies, and it was actually the Lashkar-e-Toiba top brass, one can call them, if we can call them. They were the one who, in fact, identified Abu Qatil as a double agent, and they said that he was someone who was involved directly or indirectly in the targeted killing of 30-odd India's most wanted, and they were the one who actually killed him in the wee hours of Sunday. Now, this is very tough to believe, in fact, very laughable thing. And all this is being done, Meenakshi, only to somehow motivate the cadres of Lashkar-e-Toiba. Remember, the manner in which Abu Qatil has been killed has shocked many in Pakistan. He was India's most wanted. He was, in fact, charge-sheeted by NIA. There was a charge sheet that was filed against him. He was also someone who had set up proxy terror outfits like PAF as well as the Resistance Front, and he was someone who was the closest aide of Hafiz Saeed, and his killing, in fact, has rattled Lashkar-e-Toiba and also Pakistan. What Pakistan is now doing is that they are now spreading this canard or a false, information that he was someone who was identified by Lashkar-e-Toiba, and then they went ahead and killed him. As far as Hafiz Saeed is concerned, yes, his security has been increased, and he has been specifically told not to move out of his secluded cell in Lahore.
All right, and Priyank is also live with us. Priyank, if I could take you to, the latest update which has come in today morning. Obviously, we had shown it earlier to our viewers as well that unknown gunmen have killed another prominent, as Pakistani media is calling him, a religious scholar, Mufti Abdul Noorzai. Can you give us more details on who this man is, the person who's been killed in Quetta today?
He was another terrorist who was associated with multiple terror outfits like Lashkar-e-Toiba. Because if you look at the background, since 2003, 11th of October 2003, Abdul Latif was the first one, Sajid Latif was the first one who was killed inside Pakistan only. And then the drama started where the Pakistanis, non-state actors actually started blaming Indian agencies for behind it. But if you look at the statement of the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, he was specifically saying that Pakistan has been taken over by the non-state actors, which means that whatever has to be suitable for their narrative, they are trying to build up. In the recent statement which came out from one of the Lashkar-e-Toiba operative, he was also accusing that the ISI should be blamed because since 2019, they have been put on back foot, and that is what the ISI has been doing, because the Pakistani government has finally realized that putting onus and ammunition to Kashmir issue is certainly not going to give any kind of favor of them, which they have seen in the past as well. They have themselves been struggling with the rebels from Balochistan. We saw what happened yesterday. We saw what happened last week also when the train was hijacked. So the fact of the matter is that the Pakistani government political scenario has come to a conclusion that they should not put too much of pressure on those terrorists to be sent to Kashmir, but inside their terrain, the non-state actors have been pushing them so much, and certainly.
But non-state actors, obviously, who we know who are funding, aiding, and abetting these so-called non-state actors. But for now, Priyank, Bhavtosh, and Pradeep, thank you for joining us with all these updates. Viewers, we are, staying with Pakistan, but there is another big update coming in from Pakistan. So ever since Pakistan, remember, has become the host of the Champions Trophy, the Pakistan Cricket Board seems to be on the back foot. From Pakistan becoming the first host country to exit from the championship, to the unfulfilled wish of the marquee tournaments finally happening in its newly constructed Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore, the Pakistan Cricket Board seems to have faced back-to-back humiliations. Now, in another setback for the cricket body, a South African player has chosen the Indian Premier League over the Pakistan that is the Pakistan Super League. This is a fast bowler, now Corbin Bosch, who was drafted by Team Peshawar. Now, what we know at the moment that he's chosen to play for IPL team Mumbai Indians instead. Now, the Pakistan Cricket Board reportedly has issued a legal notice to the player through his agent demanding justification for the withdrawal. The board has also said that this departure will have repercussions on the tournament. So that's the latest which we know at the moment. Looks like another humiliation has come Pakistan's way. Karishma is joining us live on the broadcast. Karishma, over to you. Give us more details as to why this player, we know the player has obviously chosen the Indian Premier League. How big a humiliation at the end of the day is it for Pakistan?
Well, it's absolutely, Meenakshi. This is a big humiliation because remember the PSL draft happened in January this year when Corbin Bosch was chosen by Peshawar Zalmi, which is a PSL franchisee. But in March, earlier this month, it was Mumbai Indians who announced that Corbin is going to replace an injured player in the Mumbai Indians team. So obviously Corbin Bosch at the last minute choosing IPL over PSL, and this is the first time in 10 years of existence of PSL that both the leagues are going to run concurrently, and this shows what is the value of the Indian Premier League, that a player who had chosen PSL 2 months ago, now being asked to replace a player in IPL, has chosen to go ahead and play for the Mumbai Indians. So PCB, of course, well within its rights to serve a legal notice, but what we are given to understand is that the deal and the contract will be looked into by Corbin Bosch's agent as well, so as to figure out that this can be a smooth process of him playing in IPL, because him choosing IPL over PSL is a clear indication that if it were to be done earlier as well, he would have chosen IPL because it's a bigger platform, a better platform, and a better financial platform as well. So obviously taking all these things into consideration, Corbin Bosch must have decided to play for IPL instead of PSL. But you know, humiliation doesn't stop for the PCB since they decided to host the Champions Trophy at home, and the team getting ousted in just 5 days of entering the tournament, Meenakshi.
All right, Karishma, thank you for joining us with all these details. We are shifting our focus now to another big breaking news coming.